let's say 10 is my number, right?
You couldn't even say it.
Let's say 10 is my number, right? Let's just use 10.
Yo, yeah. I woke up with ice on, feeling excellent. Tell them put a C on my jersey and my Letterman. I pay rack K's for the tennis shoes I'm stepping in. I know the ops, man, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.
Best relationship you've ever been in that you've lost.
Oh, good lord.
And who fucked up?
The answer, if we're not in the relationship, it's everybody on this couch.
You don't want to put that energy out there.
Oh, good lord. Okay, it was me, 100%. Oh, buddy, she was fantastic. I'm not saying her name because she might see this. That's how high of hopes I have for this podcast. So she's probably gonna see this. I'm not gonna say her name, but let's call her Stella.
Why?
Yes,
I think you should put anyway. You do your thing.
If she sees it, she'll know it's her. She's like, you know who you are. And here's the thing. And I feel like every guy has one of these, and if you don't realize that you have one of these, then you're not ready yet. And it's like, because looking back, you're gonna realize it's like, oh shit, I had something really good there. And the only thing that was keeping this relationship from succeeding was me. I was too young. That's what I want to say it was. I was too young and I was too inexperienced, and I didn't. It's like, what's this? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Ferrari, man. And I treated it like a lawnmower.
Give it up for a fucking Honda.
And what I gave it up for. Oh man, that is when I became a man. That is when I realized that relationship was over and there was no going back to it. I think that's when I truly became a man, because it's like that was like lost. Like it's like I felt like I had lost somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I had lost something. I lost a piece of myself when I realized it's like, oh shit. Yeah, no, the consequences of my actions. Yeah.
What about you?
Best relationship was probably the first one I had. Did a lot of shit together for like 2 years and 8 months. Went to London, Europe, Mexico. But I would say I definitely messed up. I was also young and inexperienced, like Christian here. Thought maybe grass was greener on the other side type of thing. Messed up once there, messed up some other type of ways. I won't say, but she knows already. So if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I was a young guy, but I'm different now. And yeah, just wish we could go back in time and, change things, right? But it doesn't work like that. You just got to keep going.
If I could turn back.
What about you?
How you feel, man?
I know exactly. I gotta say, all those relationships, like, they all had their crazy fucking great times, like, man, being young and going through all that crazy sexual stuff, Dated some pretty girls back in the day, and all of them were equally as great and crazy, all intelligent women, but no matter where you are, you always have your own problems to deal with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say all of it was their fault either. I had a girl I was talking to, and we got in a relationship. She was from Colombo. She was gorgeous, very gorgeous girl. I think we dated for 2 years, but none of my friends liked her. She was just, during one Thanksgiving, she I don't know, my friend groups like to fuck with people, and they say stuff, and then things grow, insecurities grow. She didn't like that. If I was like, I was friends with girls, right? And she's like, I don't like that you're friends with girls. I kind of understand it. On the other flip side, on the perspective, the whole, can a guy and girl be friends? right? I mean, not in a relationship, yeah, but sometimes you have boundaries, right? Like you're in a relationship, and if you have like all these fucking single girls around you, your partner's gonna be like, "What's going on?" Right? The same thing, right? Like, let's say you have wifed up, and she's running around with a bunch of like single guys. Right?
Red flag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you something though. I think as you grow in life and the older you get, the more relationships. Well, some people are getting relationships when they're young, and that's the relationship they have forever. Um, Unfortunate for me, that wasn't really my path. It's crazy because when I was 20 years old, I met this woman and just kind of like hit it off. I just bought my first condo, and I remember the kitchen didn't have any it didn't have like a dining table or anything in it. But I was on the 10th floor. It was a condo, and the way how the kitchen was situated is you can see the whole city. If you take off all the lights in the condo, we had nothing blocking the view. You could see the whole city, just like the lights, the cars on the highway, everything. And I remember just sitting on the ground with her, and we were just talking about dreams and life and aspirations, and we were so young, but we were so mature at the same time because we spoke about everything. We spoke about money, we spoke about spirituality, we spoke about finance, we spoke about kids. And it's weird because my dad has this weird saying. It's like, there's three ways people can grow together. People can grow apart from each other, they can grow together, like they're growing upwards together, or one person could outgrow the other person. And I feel like that relationship was actually the longest relationship I've ever been in. It was I think it was a 6 year or 5 year relationship. And we reached this weird spot in our life where it was just like, it could have been saved, but it would have taken both of us making efforts to save it. And I feel like one person was giving more than the other. And I don't have anything bad to say about that individual, even to this day. I respect them. I don't communicate with them out of respect for their status currently. But it's just weird because now every single relationship that I go into, I judge those relationships based on how that relationship went.
You're measuring those other relationships against it, right? That's your almost like your bar.
Yeah, it's like
of connection.
It's because it's like if I told her, let's go outside and pick up leaves off of the ground and sell it, she would tell me what colors.
Ooh.
Like what kind of leaf? Maple leaves? Like regular? Like what kind of leaves are we collecting? She was like that type of individual. But it's like I was trying at that point in time. I was trying to build businesses with my boys, but I had somebody this person has my back. Like, but I didn't see it. But as you grow older, you look back and you see little mistakes you could have fixed and little stuff you could tweak or whatever. I'm not saying that I fucked up completely. There's shit that she did that kind of like fucked me over, not to the point where it's like I don't like or hate the individual, but it was both parties doing stuff that wasn't really contributing to the growth of the relationship.
You said you guys were in your 20s at this time?
We were in our 20s, but it's weird because when I came to Canada at 15, and at 16 years old, you could basically say I was living on my own because I lived in a basement apartment by myself. And then from there, when I graduated high school, I moved in by one of my dad's friend's basement, and I was paying rent there and doing construction. Then I moved into my dad's basement basically for 2 years, and then I bought the condo. So we were young. We we were young, but like I was always that type of individual who was like money, 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 money. I never partied. I used to go party once a week, once a year, and that was in February. For
Like
uh,
this one?
no, it was Don't Cry, I'm Leaving. It was a soca party in Toronto,
Ooh, okay.
and then maybe I might dabble in Caribana. But it's weird because then I hit college when I was 26, and then I was like, shit. This is what I've been missing out on,
Yes.
partying and shit like that.
Shit.
And then I was like, oh, that's kind of like went wild. But yeah, we were young. But I just wanted to ask you guys and see what you guys like. If there's anybody that you dated or had in a relationship that it was either your best or your worst.
You remind me of a girl that I.
My worst, I think, and my first was my worst. I think it ended. I think she took an axe to my laptop,
Yes.
my snowmobile helmet. I
Whoa!
think when I came downstairs, the axe was sticking out of the dresser. My shit was just like thrown all over the front yard, and it was. I think it was like March, so it was still snow outside on the ground.
Yeah.
It was a bad day.
Okay, can I just do a quick aside? Like, I have a buddy. He just got his Camaro key a month and a half ago. Like, what's the worst, like, damage, like monetary damage you've had, like some woman that you've been with, like you're taking out? Because axe is new for me. That's like some Medea's Family Diary of a Mad Black Woman shit.
Like,
I take a chainsaw to the couch. That's what that
I don't
is.
want to like I don't know what was the relationship like, because some people have toxic relations where it's like they fight every 2 weeks and shit like that. I don't play hit games. I don't play with my stuff. And any relationship that I get into, they understand that dynamic. So don't fuck around with me, and I'm not gonna fuck around with you. I will never put my hand and hit a woman, but I'm the type of person, if I feel like the relationship is becoming violent, whether verbal or physical or whatever the sort, cold cut. Done.
What did Chris Rock say? He said, I won't hit a woman, but I'll shake the shit out of a bitch. What did you do?
Yeah, like, I don't think there's anybody that I've dated that would think it is okay to destroy anything of my own. I think if they dream that, they'll get up and apologize.
You have to do something really messed up for them to even think of doing that too, right?
I mean, I see a lot of out of pocket shit on
I've never
social
had a girl
media
do
all
that
the
to me.
time. Though I'm not even surprised. Like,
You any chick ever damage any of your shit?
Not shit like that.
No,
One
bro.
time I was not a girl I was with, just a date I was on. I had to come to this conclusion. I had to drop her off and leave her there. So in case she like messes up my car, because she was already pissed. And so I actually ended up freaking just leaving her at the gas station and driving away instead of me dropping her off home where she could have kicked my freaking door at the end of it. My car's too expensive, bro. Screw that.
The gas station? Was
Yeah.
it at least a Shell?
Yeah, it was petrol.
It was
Bro,
a petro
it
can?
sounds like a dick move, but like
That's
she was
not
pissing
bad,
me off
I mean,
the whole time, bro. I had to
could
pretend
be
to call my
worse.
mom and be like, yo. She's like, hey, I got an emergency. I'll end the call and like, hey, mom got an emergency. I gotta go. 30 minutes into chilling with her. She's not respecting me, being stingy with some weed and shit. So I'm just like, fuck this bitch, bro. And I told her I'd take her to Mount Tommy. Because like my car's expensive on gas, right? So I was like, all right, if you want to go, it's like $10. I don't really want to go that far.
What you whipping if you don't mind me asking?
wait.
Nissan 370Z Nismo, 3.7 liter V6, bro.
You got a kid on
I got a kid?
Kid.
A kid.
Oh, a kid. Nah, just a cold air intake in that. But it's still like, it guzzles, bro. 140 for a full tank gets me like 400 kilometers maybe.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
Ouch.
stupid, bro. It's stupid. It's like a Jeep. Like,
You love that car though, don't you?
I do, but I gotta get rid of it, man. I gotta get rid of it. It's sexy. It's nice.
$2
It's like
a liter. Oof.
yeah, bro.
Okay, next. This is the last question, and then I'm gonna like call this the night. Have you ever ghosted a girl, and why?
Yes, she was weird.
When you're feeling the vibes off, you just gotta go to bed.
Okay,
Or if you do some freaky
just
shit,
to
some
start it
nasty
off,
shit.
I'm gonna give you guys my ghost story. It's a very short story. I've done it a lot of times, and this is just it's my test. If I bring you home and we spend the night together, and I leave you in my house and I go out to work the next morning,
Yo, you
It's a
better
lot
than
of
me.
trust.
and I come back home, because normally you have the person's number, whatever. Hey, I'm going to work. You do your thing. I'm heading out. When you finish, blah blah, whatever. Right? You have the person's contact. And normally, if a shorty get up, she'll be like, hey, you have this, you have that. They might ask you if they could use shit in the fridge or whatever.
Right.
If I come back home and my bed is unmade, you will never hear from me again.
Okay, I got you.
That's wild to me.
I thought you were gonna say if the person was still there. I'm like,
No.
I've had that happen.
Because I get up early. It's weird. It's like clockwork. I don't even need an alarm or whatever. 4:30, I'm up. So if I get up 4:30 and I'm preparing myself for work and I leave, you're in bed still.
What time you leave for work though? Because time you get up.
It
Wow.
depends.
You're
It
leaving a lot of
depends.
trust
When
in
we
people.
were on ship, it was like you can't be there
7:45.
before 8. So
Yeah.
so sometimes 7:30, 7 o'clock you're in the office, right? So 7 o'clock, I get up 4:30, make breakfast, all that stuff. Shorty's still sleeping. If I leave my house and I come back and my bed is unmade, you will never hear from me again.
Okay, is this a first encounter? Because again, like when you first, I created a barrier initially. Like when you just started putting the scenario out. When I leave, you leave. It doesn't matter. In the morning, if it's like if we haven't had like established a rapport or established like that we've been seeing each other. This isn't our first time. This is our first time. When I leave my apartment, you are leaving. I have weapons in my apartment. You are leaving when I leave. Okay, I'm not leaving you there. I'm not leaving you there. That's
I don't know.
you are a trustworthy
It depends.
individual.
It depends on what type of shorty you bring home. If you bring home some fucking
Here's the thing, you don't
rug
know.
rat,
You don't know. It's like you might have an idea, but you don't know for sure. She could be very well done out, but back of her head, hey, he woke up and he just left me here.
that's my
Fuck his
test.
bed.
No.
Fuck
I've
his
had
bed.
people that they dig up in your drawers and they send you pictures. Oh, so you have this. Ooh, you have this. That kind of stuff like that. I don't really see that as red flags. My red flag, obviously, if you leave somebody in your house, they're going to snoop.
Yes.
Like, I don't have anything to hide. But it shows me the type of individual you are if you leave my house and you can't make up my bed. When I leave my house, the first thing that comes to my mind is if something happened to me and I end up in the hospital and I have to give somebody the keys to get into my house, what is the first thing they're going to think when they crack my door? So
He's trying to recruit people to make his bed for him.
You're just looking for an emergency contact. You're worried about how your emergency contact.
it shows character and everything, bro.
It
Like,
does. No, don't get me wrong. Anytime I've stayed at like somebody's house, I woke up in the morning, say they were gone, or I woke up before them. I make the bed. I fold the sheets. I leave it better than when I got it because they were kind enough and gracious enough to give me a place to stay when I needed it. Absolutely. But at the same time, first dates go well. She comes back to the place. This is still a first date. Sure, we've been talking about. You've talked about your two brothers and your sister. You showed me a couple of pictures. Those could be deep fakes. Honestly, it's I don't.
You paranoid,
No,
bro.
that's not
Now
First
you're
night-
dating a spot.
First night, you're just leaving them in your. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
When I wake up and go, hey, I'm waking up right now. You got about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Get your last Z's in. Because when I go, I'll drop you off. But you're not staying in my apartment.
So if you never went back to a shorty's crib
Yes.
and she woke you up to tell you to get the fuck out?
I've gotten that before. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
And I took it in stride.
I never got that.
Oh, yeah?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So how many times has it happened that a girl's actually made your bed then? I can't imagine it's a lot, right?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I want to know the
I've-
statistics right now.
Let's say 10 is my number, right?
You couldn't even say it.
Let's say 10 is my number, right? Let's just use 10 as a number. Let's say 10 is my number. So if I've done it 10 times, I think there's about 4 shorties. Actually, I'm lying. 3. So 3 who have made the bed, 7 failed to make the bed.
Okay, I was about, when you said 4, I said 4 is a lie.
Yeah, 3.
Three's believable.
3 is like I think that made the bed, and
3 girls with good
and
parents.
7 and it's weird because you see people and like the first thing that comes to my mind is if you don't make the bed is how does your house look like? What does your house look like? Oh, you know. I grew up in a very small apartment in Trinidad and Tobago, and I lived in my apartment was like the size of this, and you had about 8 people living in that small space. So in order to live in a small space like that, you had to keep it clean. There was no doubt about it. So now that I have a big space for myself, I like feeling that open airiness. Like it shouldn't feel like clutter and you gotta climb over this. And I know somebody who used to wash their clothes, put it on the bed, and sleep on one side of the bed, and their clean clothes is on the next side of the bed.
Okay, let me just interject. Laundry day can be rough.
No.
When it comes out of the dryer,
No.
and it's 10 o'clock, you just put it on the bed, and then you're just like, you know what? I'll deal with it in the morning.
That's like
Just-
some major depression vibes going
I'm
on.
the type of person, if I can't fold it, that motherfucker is gonna stay in the dryer.
Oh, okay.
I'm not, the minute I take it out of the dryer, I have to watch a episode of Suits or some shit
And just get the fold.
and just fold.
You know, that is just that's just good. That's good work ethic. And that's
That's
good
good
laundry
work
ethic
ethic.
right there.
One dryer load turns to 2, and then you got a mountain
Don't
of
never
dryer
let it stack.
shit.
If you
like-
let it stack, it's gonna stick for a
Oh.
week until you do laundry again.
I try to do laundry daily, yo.
It's the most exhausting thing in the world. I don't know what it is about folding laundry that is so exhausting. But yeah, like trying to do it daily is key because it's like small pause. Small loads, yeah, like 6, 7, maybe 10 things. Fold it, keep it moving.
You know what? Shout out to those 3 out of 10 ladies who folded the bed in the morning. They are worth the
Big
6,
shout
7 loads. That's for sure.
Shout out to your parents.
Yeah.
They raised a real one.
Yeah, man. You guys have anything else to add or to say?
Not really, man. Just thanks for having us, like always.
Nah, man, honestly, I'm feeling extra heartless.
Heartless.
Thanks for the chat.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Good chilling, boys. Chilling.
I know the ops, man, I'm getting money and I'm flexing.